Welcome back to the Cinema Grid! Today we're diving into one of the most mysterious and emotional stories in the MCU, Captain America's final mission. The one where he returned the Infinity Stones to their rightful places in time. Honestly, this journey deserves a full Marvel movie of its own, but since Marvel hasn't touched it yet, I thought, why not explore it together? So, without wasting any time, let's jump straight into the story. So let's begin with Cap's first stop. Asgard. Carrying a suitcase filled with the 6 Infinity Stones, Steve Rogers opens a time portal and lands during the events of Thor: The Dark World. His mission here is to return the Reality Stone that Rocket had extracted from Jane Foster. As soon as he arrives, Cap calls upon Mjolnir to guide him to Queen Frigga, Thor's mother. She sees him and smiles warmly, saying, "You're right on time. We haven't been attacked yet, and Jane is still resting in her chambers." Steve respectfully nods and replies, "Thank you, ma'am. None of this would be possible without your help." Frigga simply says, "I'm just doing what I'm meant to do. But tell me, how's Thor? Has he changed at all?" Cap smiles and reassures her, "A lot. He's improved so much. He helped stop Thanos and now travels with the Guardians of the Galaxy, helping people across the galaxy as a space Viking. He said he'll return when he's needed." Frigga, clearly touched, says, "If my son is happy, I need nothing more." Steve then opens the suitcase, pulls out the same device Rocket used, and carefully places the Reality Stone back into it. He hands it to Frigga, completing his first mission. Cap now heads to the Sanctum Sanctorum, where the Ancient One awaits him. He returns the Time Stone, but she says, "You're not just here for this, are you? There's more you'll need my help with." She waves her hand and opens a portal, and using the power of the Time Stone, she retrieves the Tesseract, Space Stone, and the Orb, Power Stone, which had both been destroyed in earlier timelines. She places them in secure cases and gives them to Cap. He thanks her, but she's not done yet. She then opens another portal, this time to the Avengers Tower in 2012, where past Captain America lies unconscious. She instructs Steve to quietly return the Mind Stone into the scepter and to place it in its original case. They both head toward the elevator where Loki had earlier escaped, but before anything goes wrong, the Ancient One uses the Time Stone to bring back the version of Loki who had fled and resets the moment. To protect the timeline, she then uses a spell to erase the memories of everyone who witnessed the alternate events, restoring the natural flow of history. Cap thanks her once again and heads to his next stop. Steve now travels to Morag, the planet where Peter Quill first discovered the Power Stone. Holding the case given to him by the Ancient One, Cap carefully places the orb back into its original slot inside the ancient temple. Just as he turns to leave, he spots Thanos' forces abducting Nebula in the distance, but he doesn't interfere. One wrong move could unravel everything. So, without a word, he slips away. From there, Cap jumps to the year 1970, the secret SHIELD base where he and Tony had previously retrieved the Tesseract and the Pym particles. He returns both items to their proper places, ensuring the timeline remains stable. While there, he sees Peggy Carter again. He doesn't speak to her directly, but stands quietly nearby, watching her, maybe even remembering the life he once dreamed of. Before he leaves, he softly says, "I must go now. If I stay too long, I might change something I shouldn't." Next, Cap travels to one of the most haunting places of all, Vormir. Here, the Soul Stone had demanded a life in exchange. As he steps onto the barren cliffs, Red Skull appears before him once again. "I never expected someone would return the Soul Stone," he says. "But you have." Steve steps forward and asks, "If I return it, can we bring Natasha back? Can I offer my soul in her place?" But Red Skull replies, "Only the one who gives up what they truly love can earn the stone. But if you sacrifice yourself here, it won't bring her back. Instead, you'll be taken to the place that is meant for you." Suddenly, Steve finds himself in a strange, dreamlike realm, and standing in front of him are Tony Stark and Natasha Romanoff. Overwhelmed, he says, "We succeeded! I've come to take you both back." But Natasha gently smiles and replies, "Everything comes with a price, Steve. Clint gave me my life, and I used it to live the life I always wanted, with my family. I don't want to undo that." Cap turns to Tony and asks, "Don't you want to go back? To watch Morgan grow up?" But Tony shakes his head. "When I snapped, I saw her future. She was happy, and she told me she was proud. That's all I ever wanted. What more could a father ask for?" Steve lowers his head. He understands. Tony places a hand on his shoulder and says, "You've sacrificed enough, Cap. It's your turn to rest." They hug. Cap closes his eyes. When Steve opens his eyes again, he's back in the 1940s, dancing with Peggy Carter. The suitcase is gone, the time device is gone, and he realizes this is the place Red Skull meant, a peaceful place, the life he truly belonged to. He decides to live quietly, never telling the world the truth. He even stages a marriage with a different identity, so that no one suspects who Peggy's husband really is. Years pass. Peggy eventually passes away. Steve, now an old man, visits her grave in secret, laying flowers where no one sees him. But one day, a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent notices him and alerts Nick Fury. Fury investigates and is shocked to come face to face with an elderly Steve Rogers. Cap explains, "Something happened during my final mission. I can't tell you everything, or it might damage the timeline, but I had to stay in the past." Fury smiles, always 10 steps ahead, and says, "Even after all these years, you still find a way to surprise me." Then he makes Steve an offer. "Train my new recruits. Share your combat experience. In return, your secret stays buried." Steve nods in agreement. Deal. At some point, Steve tells Fury, "The shield I had, it was destroyed. I need a replacement, not for me, but for someone else." Fury nods and arranges everything through a secret Wakandan contact. A new vibranium shield is forged, sleek, polished, and built to carry a new legacy. Steve keeps it safe, waiting for the right time to pass it on. Eventually, we see him again, just like at the end of Avengers Endgame, sitting quietly on a bench near the lake. This isn't just a peaceful old man. This is the Steve Rogers who returned every stone, who lived a hidden life with Peggy, who helped Fury from the shadows, and who honored every promise. He smiles, hands the new shield to Sam Wilson, and simply says, "It's yours now." And with that, the first Avenger finally rests. Every missing piece now falls into place. Why Cap stayed in the past, how he kept his promise to Peggy, where the new shield came from, and how, even in the shadows, Steve Rogers continued to serve long after the world thought he was gone. If you watched till here, comment "Steve's legacy is eternal" to let me know you stayed through this entire journey. Target for this video is 2,000 likes. Like and subscribe for more. Exciting content is coming.